Form 4 Ataru is also known as one of the most aggressive forms, right next to Degen So. Also, its most famous users were Grandmaster Yoda, and yeah, that was it. So, Ataru is mainly, if you're using Ataru, you have to have lots of stamina, because if you don't, you're gonna die. Because Ataru is very stamina provided. It needs stamina to work. And also you need to be heavily provided with the force. You need to be fast if you want this one to work. So, when Yoda uses Form 4 Ataru, you gotta be small. Smaller than me. I know I'm small, but just believe me. You gotta be super small. It's very aggressive, and you have to have the best stamina. Same with Darth. If Darth Maul were to use it, he would be pretty good at it because he had the best stamina. But Form 4 does have its weaknesses, such as the energy consumingness. Last video I talked about how Qui-Gon Jinn used Form 1, but he actually didn't. He used Form 4 Ataru. Its weaknesses is blastable deflection and confined spaces. So if I were to fight in this room and I was using Form 4, my enemy was using Form 5 or Form 7, I don't know. If my enemies were using Form 5 or something, and I was using Form 4, I'd be pretty much dead because I'd be in a too confined space. But if you're a master at it like Master Yoda, you might be able to prevail by flipping over your opponent and killing them with a killing stroke. But if you don't have that much agility, you're pretty much gonna die. So Form 4 Ataru is mostly used in aggressive strikes. It's mostly offensive like Form 5. It's not as aggressive as Form 5, but it is pretty aggressive. So, when you're using Form 4, acrobatics and stamina is key. It's basically the opposite of Mach Chi. When you're using Mach Chi, you're trying to conserve energy and using light strikes and waiting for your enemy to tire out. But in Form 4, that's the complete opposite. You just try to kill and not relying on defense. But if you're using Form 4 and you use Form 2, you can play best in a fight. If you're getting into confined spaces, you can switch to Form 2, such as Form 3, sorry. Form 3 Sorsu of Flights of Combat. So, Form 2 Mach Chi. Form 2 Mach Chi is, well, I already talked about that, but, yeah, Form 3, sorry. So, Form 3, if you're back to the corner when you're using Form 4, quickly switch to Form 2, start blocking, and then try to give an advantage with your stamina. Because if you're using Form 4, you have to have good stamina. So, use your better stamina to try to flip over the enemy, switch back to Form 4, and attack again. You gotta flip over the enemy, and then you continue your barrage. Or, just flip over, you could, but if you are not that good on stamina and you're using Form 2, you might die. And I relayed before if Maul were using Form 2. Not Form 2, but Form 4. Ataru. If he was using Ataru, he might have won almost every battle. He might have killed Kenobi. Because he had really good stamina. He might have been better Ataru than Form 7, the Pop. Although he harnessed the dark side powers, and used him to his advantage, Ataru might have been the way to go in this fight, and not have caused him his torso all down. But you might ask, then why didn't Maul use Form 7? Probably because Sidious wanted him to. Sidious was the puppet master, and he mainly used form. I'm not sure what form he used, but he was a master of all the forms, just like Yoda. So, if Yoda was somehow confined into a space, and the ceiling was too high to jump, and he's still in a confined space, he would probably switch to Form 2 or 3, Torsu. Or in Desert Times, he would use Form 1, Si-Cho, where he would use Si-Cho and try to disarm his opponent, and try to get the advantage by flipping over them with this superior stamina with Form 4, and killing with a killing strike of Form 4. So, also, let's take a little more of a glance at Form 5. See, the Gemso. I already talked about it in my first video, but let's talk about the war. The Gemso is the other offensive attack of lightsaber combat. So, you know how when you're going for the killing strike, mostly of times you'll do this for a heavy killing blow. That's basically what you're doing, but you're kind of standing to the side. So, when you're using this form of combat, you want to be very fast and powerful with your strikes. So, lightning speed. You have to have lightning speed. So fast that your opponent's not even see it coming. It's just a flash of lightsaber and plasma going straight through their skull. So, also when you're using this form, you also don't want to get confined because it's mainly on assault, not much on defense. If you're getting pushed back into defense, the only way you probably counter against that is to assault, just to keep going against with a counterattack, which your opponent can easily defend against and kill you with. So if I was using Form 5 and I was back to a corner, such as Kylo Ren was used when he was pushed on defense, I'm not sure if he used Form 5, but I think he might have. But he would just try to attack. That's the only thing he would have done. So if I'm trying to kill and I'm trying to use Form 5 to my advantage when I'm in front of my opponent, like not in front, but when I'm pushing my opponent back, I would probably win if my opponent wasn't that good, or he was using some other form that you can best, such as not Form 1, but pretty sure Form 6, Si-Cho. No, not 6, but 7 for Pod. When Pod does harness the dark side energy, but Form 5 is way stronger. Form 7 does have its advantages and disadvantages, but Form 5 will prevail if you fight. It's equal skill. So that's how I think. So if Mace Windu actually reacted, blocked Anakin's lightsaber attack, and Palpatine didn't do anything, Anakin might have won if Windu said something like, "I ordered those Tusken Raiders to kidnap your mother," because at this point he probably couldn't beat Maul with that unless he had something like that said to him. Same with Mace. He would have to say something almost heartbreaking to Anakin, or something like, I've been putting the visions into your mind that I'm gonna kill Padme, or something like that. So if he were to do that, Anakin would easily kill him. But I think Anakin would still be able to kill him with the Form 5, the Gemso, unless he made a mistake and Mace pushed him back on the defensive. So if I'm trying to kill someone with, let's say Form 2. Let's go Form 2 real quick. From Mach-Chi. And I'm trying to push him back into a defensive defensive position. Anakin would most likely, with his brash decisions, even though he had brash decisions, he would probably go back in defensive. But say you're Kylo Ren, no, you're not going to go back defensive. You're going to try to launch an attack and try to clash like this, and then the other person is trying to attack you. So if you try to go swipe, the person could dodge that, or the person could just come from like right here. So if you're trying to cut, and you're say you're to my right, I can cut your hands off. But if you're going first down, cut your hands off. If you're trying to do a jab, push to the side like this, blocked, cut hand off. When you're using this form, when you're using Form 5, you gotta be careful. Same with Form 4, Ataru. Form 4 Ataru also is you have to be very careful with, as not getting trapped in confined space. So if I have a Sith in front of me and I'm using Form 4, I'll probably die because I'm trying to attack, got much defense on my part, and I won't be able to defend as much. And I'll probably die because I'll probably try to assault with a counterattack, which my player can easily respond to and block, push, kill. So yeah, that's this video. And one thing, also a little more bonus information is when using Form 4, if you ever use Form 4 and Form 5, that's the worst combo ever. Because if you're pushed back, say I'm pushed back into a corner with let's say Form 6, I'll be trapped in a corner forever because I'm not leaving that corner because I'll resort to Form 5. And Form 5 has a little more defense than Form 4, but not much. So you'll probably still die. So without further ado,